It is officially 7:01 on a lovely Thursday evening, and you are tuned into the very first episode of the Daydream Report. Good to see you. Welcome. Come on in. Have a seat. If you've never seen me before, hi, my name's Darryl. Some of you also may recognize me from my other YouTube channel, the Daydream Arcade, where I do Reddit videos every Friday. This is going to be a very different show from that, and instead of putting it on the Daydream Arcade, I wanted to just break out and just start a brand new channel altogether. So needless to say, there is a lot going on in the world right now, and it can get overwhelming at times. This show is going to be me picking out certain popular things and at times niche things that are going on in the world that are kind of popular, that might be trending online, things that are grabbing my attention, and I'm going to talk about those and somehow relate it to my own life. Is this show going to stay afloat? I don't know. I have an endless well of confidence, so we're just going to give this a shot. In the past, as a content creator, I've kind of had this bad habit of putting all of my eggs into one basket, and usually doesn't always work out for me. Y'all ever heard of a website called Mixer? Back on the Daydream Arcade, when I did Reddit story videos, I used to have a co-host, and it was super easy to just bounce off one another, but it was also very fun to go on tangents. As somebody with ADHD, I go on tangents all the time. If you are a fellow ADHDer, this isn't necessarily, I'm not labeling this as an ADHD podcast, but you might get some enjoyment out of this. If you like tangents, if you like random stories that might devolve into other avenues, this show might be for you. There has been a Cyclospora outbreak. Now, I don't know. I never heard that word up until recently. And there has been some contaminated lettuce, and it's been making people go poo. It's been making people get really upset tum-tums. And I couldn't help but think about all the times that I have had just the worst stomach issues that have left me begging for mercy on the toilet. So this episode might get a little gross, and for the very first episode, we're starting off at a low point, I guess. We're going to be talking about poop sometimes. If this episode isn't for you, if you don't know what the Daydream Arcade is, I maybe go over there. But I appreciate you guys checking this out. I'm also going to be talking very unfiltered. I'm going to be doing my best to not heavily edit these videos. It's going to be more of a video diary, I guess. And if some people are into that, then that's totally cool. And if you're not, that's cool too. So I have pulled up some stats about Cyclospora and this outbreak. So since May 1st, 2026, the CDC has received reports of 17,180 laboratory confirmed cases of cyclosporiasis acquired in the United States. Why did I say Cyclospora? Is it Cyclosporia? I did a little research before this, maybe not enough, all right? It always starts out in the lettuce, and today I figured would be a great day to record this first episode because in an somewhat unrelated, but also related incident, I had Chipotle for the very first time in over a year today for lunch. I got an ad for their honey Chipotle chicken, and I remember I think 2 years ago, I got it, and it was really, really good. And I didn't bring anything with me for lunch at work. So I decided, fuck it. I'm going to go to Chipotle for the first time in a long, long while. And I ordered a burrito bowl. Now, let me sit you down and tell you the order. Some of you might be wondering. And if you have a go-to Chipotle order, I'd love to know it in the comments. Chipotle isn't what it used to be, in my opinion. I think it kind of sucks now. But that ad was just so tantalizing. It was just distracting me from my work, and I can't do another minute of work unless I get this chicken inside of me. White rice. Black beans. Sometimes I go for pinto, but typically I go for black. Beans are good for you guys. Eat your beans, your legumes. Double portion of the Chipotle chicken. Maybe that's where it went wrong. Maybe that's doubling down on the Chipotle by going to Chipotle in the first place and getting the honey Chipotle chicken. Maybe that's where I went wrong. I didn't get lettuce. I got the fajita veggies. I got the corn salsa. And I used to go for the the red salsa, but now I just get the salsa verde or whatever they call it. Tortilla on the side. That was about it. So I devoured this bowl, right? I was hungry. And I shit you not, pun intended, 20 minutes after consuming that bowl, I was on the toilet having some of the most violent diarrhea that I have had in my life. No blood. There's no blood or anything like that. Nothing crazy. But man, it has been a long time. Like I said, it was a year or more since I had Chipotle. It's been longer than that since I have had the experience that I had in the bathroom today. I have been pissing out of my ass all day. I might actually have to get up at some point during the filming of this, but if you see a big time skip, then you know what happened. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to knock on wood and hope that I can finish this episode all in one go. And also, these episodes, I don't know how long they're going to go. I'm kind of aiming at this point to be like 15, 20, 25 minutes or so. Like I said, this is going to be kind of like a diary entry, sort of like a virtual diary of my life and what's going on in the world. So anyway, I didn't even get the lettuce. I didn't even get lettuce. And I don't even know if Chipotle gets it from Taylor Farms, which is the culprit who has been responsible. And also, I was going to get into Taco Bell. And I know it's the go-to thing whenever anybody brings up Taco Bell. It's talking about just shitting your pants or how it just gives people the most insane diarrhea that they've ever had in their life. And also, I'm not saying this just to kiss Taco Bell's ass. I literally, in my life, every time I've had Taco Bell, I have never had even the slightest amount of indigestion. Never had it. Chipotle's giving it to me, though. I don't think it's going to be too bad. And if you see me sweating, it's because it's the middle of the summer and it's hot and I can't turn the fan on because I'm recording. So if I do get sweaty, it's definitely not a mixture of the two things, of my stomach and the heat. I don't know, but this is hell. I've been living in hell for the last couple hours. I should have gone home, but I didn't. So moral of that story, don't go to Chipotle. Stop going. As a society, we need to stop going to Chipotle. Friends, don't let other friends eat at Chipotle. This isn't the early 2010s when Chipotle was still good. In my opinion, Chipotle hasn't been good since 2017, 2016. But I, as of today, am officially swearing off Chipotle. Because not only the fast food prices are going up, it's absolutely insane. Did you guys know that it's $5 now for a large McDonald's fry? That's fucking insane. And in some ways, I would hope that it would start deterring, myself included, but other people away from eating fast food, because we all know it's poison. We all know that fast food is killing us. We all know that these big corporations don't give a damn about us, but goddamn, it's so good. I do love me a good fast food burger. I love me some fast food fries. I love a Coke freestyle machine. Kind of wish I had one here in the office. That'd be pretty cool. But I would also have to clean it, and that thing would just collect dust in the corner. I would use it a couple times, and I would just, like my Nintendo Switch, once a year is up of having it, never touching it again, and then it's just gonna collect dust on a shelf and get gross. But also, I've never been a big fan of lettuce. If I'm being honest, never been a big fan of lettuce. It's kind of the same opinion that I have with tomatoes. Raw tomatoes, to be exact. Raw tomatoes to me taste like watery dirt. And for lettuce, it's just crunchy water. And yes, that means I don't really like salads. Will I eat salad? Yeah, I'll eat it. But it's kind of that, just you're out and your food comes with a side salad. I'll eat the side salad. I won't necessarily like it. Hell, I might not even finish it. But now we have a built-in excuse. Salad haters, fellow salad haters out there, we don't have to eat the lettuce. Tell your mom tonight at dinner. Tell your wife. Tell your girlfriend. Tell your partner. Tell your boyfriend. Tell anybody that you live with. If they're serving you lettuce tonight, smack that bowl out of their fucking hands. Grab their face and say, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't you know this lettuce is poison?" So yeah, I don't like lettuce. I'm not a big fan. Like I'll have it on a burger, sure, but it's supplemental. It's just another. It's texture, if anything. And if I'm gonna be honest, if I want texture on a burger, I'm throwing an onion ring on there or something, or I'm throwing an egg on there. I know people think that the egg thing is so pretentious, but god dang it, I do love a good egg on a burger, a nice fried egg. This whole entire episode has just devolved into food now. And I mean, that's kind of what this was about to begin with anyway. But man, the whole lettuce thing, it's and at this point it's only a matter of time before more stuff starts getting recalled. I just know that it's gonna happen. Not to bring it down, we're gonna bring it back up in just a second, bear with me. But it also doesn't help that the current administration has somebody in charge overlooking things like the FDA or the CDC who seemingly, in my mind, every time that I hear something about RFK Jr., I just hear it's about autism. I swear to God, the man has an autism fetish, because literally every fucking time I see this man on TV, he's talking about autism and children and fucking Tylenol and bullshit like this. Like, like we have idiots running the asylum. This show is just gonna be me goofing off and just talking about whatever the hell I want to talk about. Hold my hand as we watch the end of days of society just crumble around us. But hey, at least we have each other. Am I right? When I was doing prep for this episode, I couldn't help but remember a couple of years ago, I was watching a movie with one of my good friends over Discord, and I had this terrible, terrible stomach virus. I don't know if it was norovirus. I never got it confirmed, because I believe norovirus, you have to be like firing out from both ends. But I was just, it was another insane diarrhea case for me. Okay, you have to be firing out of both ends for that. So it probably wasn't norovirus, but it was a case where I would eat something like the tiniest little thing. Like I could have a cracker with butter on it, and I would immediately have to go to the bathroom. And I mean, thankfully it cleared up. I didn't die, but I remember that evening very clearly because we were watching this Belgian horror film called Rabid Grannies, which, from what I recall, it was about two elderly sisters who ended up inviting their family over, and one of the gifts that they got was this demonic relic or something like that basically turned them into undead cannibals. And for the entire film, they just proceed to hunt down and eat their family. And let me tell you, the practical gore in this film was something that I was not prepared for. And when you pair that with what I was going through, it was a time. It was a fever dream. I was already sick as it was, but to sit and watch this, like, there is a particular scene that will live with me forever. I've probably lost a lot of you by now, but if you have ever seen Rabid Grannies, hold on. Or if you're interested, just stay with me. There's a scene where this kind of rotund, fatter man tried to squeeze through a vent or something like that, and one of the grannies caught up to him, and she starts eating this guy's legs, and he's just screaming the entire time. And it's just staying on her. Just, there's a lot of just like flesh, like pulling and tearing, and it's just insane. This guy's screaming the entire time, and it gets to a point where, if I remember this correctly, how do I phrase this? And I don't mean this in a naughty way. She literally eats his ass. She eats his butt cheeks and like peels the skin off. And there is a shot, a very close up shot of her holding it open like a Fruit Loop and licking it. This video will never, ever, this video might get age restricted. I hope it doesn't. But man, I will always remember that movie and that particular scene. And I remember I ordered food, and I was hoping that maybe, just maybe, that it was just a morning thing, but no, at that point I found out that I was very much deep in the bowels of whatever the fuck I was dealing with. I don't know where we got the inspiration to watch it. I think maybe we were going through Plex and we were just looking at bad horror films, and I honestly I couldn't even tell you if I liked it. I couldn't tell you how I felt about it. All I do know is that I will forever associate just terrible stomach viruses with the film Rabid Grannies. I just heard it thunder, so we're gonna have to wrap this up. If I tell you right now, if you're currently going through these following symptoms, you might have Cyclospora, and you might have to go to the doctor. So listen up, everybody. If you have symptoms that include watery diarrhea, fatigue, loss of appetite, you might want to go to the doctor because you might have a parasite. Also, wash your hands, you disgusting freaks, you disgusting animals out there. Wash your hands. I can't tell you how many times I have been in the men's public bathroom and I have just seen, I'm peeking through the stall because I had Cyclospora and I ate the lettuce and I'm sitting in the stall watching you freaks just not wash your hands. And I bet the women out there aren't that much better either. So, for the love of God, soap and warm water, my friends. It's gotten us through tougher times. And if we're going to make it through this, whatever the hell it might be. I mean, I remember recently people thought the hantavirus was going to kill us all. Be safe out there. I hope you guys enjoyed this very first episode. It's only going to get better from here. We talked about shit and diarrhea. It can only get better from here. But if you're seeing this episode, it means that you're special, and I love you. The thunder is approaching, everybody. And so is Cyclospora. I hope you guys return for another episode of the Daydream Report, because just like all the shitty things happening out there in the world, the horrors persist, and so must I. I'll see you guys next time.